Hello again, everyone. Edwin Leonard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about the dumbest zodiac sign and sharing my thoughts on this. Now, anyway, I'm going to go through all the signs. I'm going to start out with Aries. Well, Aries does not, I don't think, Aries is not a sign that I would equate with being slow or stupid by any means. Aries is not an air sign, of course, but Aries can have a lot of ingenuity and originality. They could be very innovative. They could be very pioneering. So that is one sign I would not equate with that, and I don't think Aries would be considered the dumbest zodiac sign. Now, I'm going to go to now Taurus. Well, Taurus, I think people have a misconception about Taurus. I've heard people things online saying that they thought Taurus is the dumbest or slowest sign. I don't believe that. Taurus can be very methodical and deliberate. They don't always move as fast as the average sign, but Taurus can accomplish a lot more in a longer period than most people through sustained efforts, through their endurance. And Taurus people can actually, the people with Taurus can actually, that have Taurus prominent in their horoscope as sun, moon, or ascendant, could actually be very analytical and have a lot more intellect than a lot of people believe they do. I can't remember his name exactly, but there was a famous innovator that had Taurus rising. His name was something like Nikola Tesla or something similar to that, and I'm sorry I don't remember the name exactly, but he had a number of inventions, and having Taurus rising, it's a shame that a lot of people have misconstrued Taurus, so I don't believe that Taurus is the dumbest zodiac sign. So now, the next sign, Gemini. Well, Gemini, there's no way that this would be possible, Gemini, because Gemini is very cerebral and articulate and verbose. Many people I've noticed that have the sun, moon, or ascendant in Gemini, they're not only loquacious, but they know what they're talking about. Even though they may learn superficially, their mind can assimilate a lot of information in a rather short period of time. So I would certainly not equate Gemini with being the dumbest zodiac sign. So now let's go to the zodiac sign Cancer. Well, Cancer we know is very introverted, but Cancer they might not really be the most outgoing people, but Cancer has a lot of good instinct and intuitive prowess. And a lot of their decisions, I think, are made this way by being insightful. They're not they may not be known to be as cerebral as like a Gemini or Aquarius or Virgo, but they are. But they have their own. They seem to see things really through their intuitive prowess, and can often make their even better judgments that way sometimes than other people make through all their analytical ability. And Cancer, Albert Einstein had Cancer rising, and Cancer can actually have very good intellect. So I don't see Cancer as being the dumbest zodiac sign. So we're going to go to Leo now. Well, Leo, what I think about Leo is that sometimes Leos can give the impression that maybe they know more than they actually do, but they actually, on the subjects that they love to be an authority on them, and they learn when it's something they really enjoy and revel in. I've noticed something about Leo, that they want to learn it like really fully and become as knowledgeable as they can on it. To me, there's no way that this could be the dumbest zodiac sign. So I'm going to go to the next sign I'm going to talk about is Virgo. Well, as many of you may know, Virgo could be very analytical and intellectual. They can often point out and observe objects that a lot of people, the average person, may be oblivious to. They really don't miss a trick, Virgos. They are ruled by Mercury. So Virgo is guided by communication and intellect. So I would be hard pressed to say that Virgo would be the dumbest zodiac sign. So let's go to Libra now. Well, Libra is very sociable. They're very engaging. They could be very gregarious. I'm sorry, Libra can be very gregarious and engaging and very outgoing. And being an air sign, Libra can be very intellectual. Now, Libra is very humble and reticent, so they don't always flaunt the information they know. But what happens is when people get to know Libra, they seem to really you'll see all this intellectual energy a lot of times come out, and you'll be surprised because it wasn't because they weren't they Libra is not dumb. What happens is Libra often holds back because they don't want to come across as being arrogant or egotistical. So therefore, they don't always flaunt that information they know or what they're knowledgeable about, but they can be very knowledgeable. And being an air sign, there is no way that this could be the dumbest zodiac sign. So let me go to Scorpio now. Well, Scorpio can have very penetrating insight and intuition, being a water sign, and they could often look through the subterfuge and duplicity of others. And I think Scorpio, really, it's very hard to outmaneuver them. And really, to me, I don't think there's really any way that we could say that Scorpio is the dumbest zodiac sign. And really, they just have that strong ability. They could really write a book about how to detect lies from people. I think that Scorpio can be like a human lie detector, I think. So anyway, so I would not regard Scorpio as being the dumbest zodiac sign. So let's go to Sagittarius now. Well, Sagittarius can be very erudite, very intellectual. They could be strongly about broad concepts and abstract thinking and very philosophical. And really, they're like this perpetual learner. Bill Nye, the science guy, is a Sagittarius sun. And I mean, he really, to me, he kind of epitomizes that Sagittarian nature. I do not see Sagittarius, therefore, as being the dumbest zodiac sign. So let's now go to Capricorn. Well, Capricorn can be somewhat reticent. They could be very quiet and taciturn. They don't really talk a lot, and it's not exactly known. They're not known to be a loquacious sign by any means. But just because they might not speak a lot, and they might be known to have a quiet demeanor, that doesn't mean they're not knowledgeable in certain areas or facets in life. I mean, especially as far as being astute at business people, I think Capricorn does about the best in terms of business administration, and really in their organizational skills are really stellar. So, George Steinbrenner, who was many of you may have known people that are enamored with pro baseball and MLB, that he was a former owner of the New York Yankees, and George Steinbrenner had Capricorn rising. And I don't think really many people were able to outsmart him as far as a business standpoint. He always, really in many instances, he was able to draw the marquee or elite players to his team to help build a perennial contender for the World Series title. So I can't say that Capricorn is the dumbest zodiac sign. So let's go to Aquarius. Well, we know this can't be the dumbest zodiac sign because many of you may remember when I did the smartest zodiac sign video, I had Aquarius at the top of the heap. So Aquarius, being as ingenious and progressive and innovative as they are, the fact they're so futuristic and looking forward and moving ahead in terms of their ideas and their concepts, there's no way I can put Aquarius as the dumbest zodiac sign. So last but not least, we're going to talk about Pisces. Well, many of you know Pisces can be somewhat ambivalent and ambiguous. They could be nebulous sometimes. They don't always have, as far as making decisions, they could have some difficulty with this. But Albert Einstein, yes, I'm putting him in this example again because he was a Pisces sun. Pisces people can actually, they really can have very good imagination, and like Cancer, they can make their decisions a lot by their intuition and insight. And Pisces can sometimes be prophetic, I think, and They just have they really they see the broad picture in things. Well, Virgo is more about analysis and scrutinizing details. Pisces can kind of take the details and put them into a full statement very quickly, a lot faster maybe than a lot of other people or most signs can do. So I do not see Pisces as the dumbest zodiac sign. So the answer is I do not think there is a dumbest zodiac sign, because I think the way I see it, all zodiac signs, they all generally can be adept at some things. Some are more adept at some things than others. Some learn certain subjects better. It's things that they have the natural affinity for, I think. It's what they're interested in. I think a lot of times in life, it's what we're enamored or infatuated with. What we have our enthusiasm for, that is what we're going to naturally learn faster. And I think this can apply to zodiac signs. So I don't see such a thing as a dumbest zodiac sign. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the dumbest zodiac sign. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.